everyone, in today's episode we're going to be swapping these wheels for my new track wheels, and we're going to be swapping the OEM pads for my track pads since next weekend is a track weekend. And of course, since I got these wheels a couple of months ago, they're not my track wheels. I do have a set of dedicated track wheels and tires, but a couple of months ago I also revealed my new set at the time, but I ended up switching things up a little bit. I ended up selling that old set and getting something newer, better and wider. And this is the set that I'm talking about. It is a new set of Apex wheels paired with Toyo R888R tires. Now, the previous setup was also Apex, but it was a squared setup. This setup is a staggered setup, whereas the front is a 275/35/18 tire. The rear is a 305/35/18 tire. And just take a look at the meat in the back. I mean, this is just a massive, massive tire. And if you actually compare it to the 275, so a lot of times when you're running a stock M, 275 is what you have in the back. So this is the comparison, back side to side. Here, let's take a look. There we go. So this is your OEM rear tire size, and this is our 305 that we're going to be using at the track. I mean, look at the difference. You have about 1.5 inches of extra width on this tire. It just looks epic. And everything I'm doing today, essentially I've done on video multiple times, but these are the tools that I'm going to be using. Obviously, I'm going to be using my jack, I'm going to be using my Esco stand. And again, these are highly, highly recommended. I'm going to put it down in the description because not only do they not damage your driveway, they are super, super solid. They go super high, super low, and these are the most stable stands I have ever used. I'm gonna use my impact gun, which makes my life a lot easier when removing the wheel. Removing the wheel, I'm gonna be using this log tool I got from Keys Motorsports. Again, it's awesome because it's got this protective plastic to protect my valued investment or depreciating asset in the wheel. Logs, I'm actually going to not use the locking nuts for the track wheels. I'm gonna be using a set of OEM lugs. So this is it. These are the extended one in case I want to run massive spacers. And then when we replace the pads, I'm going to need a hammer and some sort of a punch tool, a set of track brake pads, as well as a ceramic brake pads lubricant, and of course a brake pad cleaner. When we go to install the wheels in the front, I don't know if I'm going to have clearance issues because these are 10-inch wheels and 275 with tires, so I might be a bit too close to the suspension perch. We're going to test everything once we mount the tires, but if it becomes an issue, I've got a set of these 7.5mm spacers that I got from Keys Motorsports, and these will push the wheels away from the shock a little bit. But again, I don't know if we're going to need them. We're going to test everything when the tires come off. And of course, we've got a set of these Apex track wheels that I'm very excited about. Oh, and before you ask, yes, I did flush my brake fluid 2 weekends ago. There's a video on it I'm going to link right above in case you want to see how it's done. With the brake pads done, we can now fit these massive wheels. And no spacers needed because it's a perfect offset. And now here in the front, I think I'm going to start with 3mm spacers. These are the spacers I run with my Richland forged wheels. I'm going to start with these only because if I'm not too close to the perch, I might just stick with these. Now, the issue we might have is the following. Since the wheel itself and the tire are so wide, the side of it might be touching this bottom perch spring. This is an issue that a couple of M Performance lowering spring owners have reported. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the case with me, but if it is, we're just going to have to address it by pushing the wheel out just a little bit. We just require a bit of space between here and the tire. I put the wheels on, and as I spin, I hear no rubbing on the perch, but I have a feeling we don't have enough space. Take a look at this. And since the tire is stretching when you're taking hard corners, I think I'll be safer with a 7.5. Now, the problem with a 7.5 is it might stick out too much and rub against the fender. I do have negative 2.5 camber in the front. I do have camber plates, so hopefully that'll allow me to tuck the tire in. If not, we'll just figure it out by either running this 3mm or risking some rubbing on the fender. I just looked at the footage and I think it's too close to the perch, so we're gonna run 7.5mm spacers. Out with the old and in with the new. Now these 7mm spacers have this hub built in here, which means the tire can safely sit on it. It's a pretty ingenious design. The moment of truth. Definitely a lot more room in there. I mean, take a look at this. So this is what we're gonna go with. I just hope there's no rubbing on the fender, but I'm praying my 2.5 negative camber is gonna help me. Now let's see if I can get away with my stock lugs or extended ones. Yeah, we're gonna go with extended. And for comparison purposes, these are the stock lugs, these are the extended ones. As you can see, since you're pushing the wheel out, you have less of a thread to grab everything together. An extended stud basically gives you a lot more thread to hold everything together. Before we drop the car, let's just make sure everything spins freely. And it does, no rubs or anything. I've got to say, we'll get to the front first, but this is the back. Look how meaty the back is. It's such a cool looking setup. Anyways, yeah, it's super meaty. The offset, I would say it's perfect. And as we go to the front, you could tell that because of the negative camber that I have, the top of the wheel is actually tucked in. So I'm not gonna get any rubbing, and at the same time, I'm properly spaced away from the shock. And look how cool this looks. Oh yeah. And these tires are ultra sticky. So obviously, I talk about it all the time, but my mud flaps will protect the side of my car from getting sandblasted. Oh man, really awesome. And then again, on the sunny side, just look at this. Oh, this side still needs to settle because this is where I jacked it up last. But oh man, look at this. Super cool. And we're done. Yes, I know none of this was new, but at least you had the joy of experiencing new wheels with me. And I've got to say, the design of these wheels is pretty awesome. Even though these are 18-inch wheels, and usually 18-inch wheels with a lip make everything look small, but this setup is actually pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie, and it makes everything look a lot neater. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, hi everyone, hi everyone, hi everyone. We all knew this was gonna happen. I think I've gone through too many. All right, and we're done, and we're done, and we're done, and we're done.